The GAWAD EDUKAMPYON para sa lokal na pamahalaan for barangay justice, security, and disaster preparedness is awarded to the Barangay Santa Cruz, Municipality of Guiguinto, Province of Bulacan, led by Honorable Emmanuel S. Joson for his program Barangay Santa Cruz Search and Rescue Team. The Barangay Santa Cruz Disaster Risk Reduction Management Council fulfills the requirement of RA 10121 or the Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Act of 2010 under Executive Order No. 10 Series of 2020, which provides the legal basis for policies, plans, and programs to deal with disasters that cover four thematic areas, namely disaster prevention and mitigation, disaster preparedness, disaster response, and disaster rehabilitation and recovery. The plan was formulated by the Council and approved by the Sangguniang Barangay under Resolution No. 22 Series of 2020. The Council envisions a community of safer, adaptive, and disaster-resilient citizens towards sustainable development. The actively participating members of community-based people's organizations, Senior Citizen Representative, PWD Representative, Homeowners Association Representative, Business Sector Representative, and Solo Parents Representative, representing the most vulnerable and marginalized group in the barangay, provided essential information in the formulation of Barangay Disaster Risk Reduction Management Plan for targeted output. During the planning process, the top hazards identified were flooding and earthquake. As part of the results, interventions were selected to address the gaps. Barangay Santa Cruz has a comprehensive BDRRM plan, evacuation plan, and contingency plan. This comprehensive plan is the product of a joint effort of the barangay and CSOs or NGOs through stakeholder consultations. Mitigation, prevention, and preparedness are the highly focused expanse among the four thematic areas. The Punong Barangay ensured that the Barangay Search and Rescue Team members were properly trained for safe and efficacious operations. In preparation, the BDC and BDRRMC are conducting studies to identify areas with greater need during a disaster. Areas identified and vulnerable groups are given more consideration when making plans and programs. BDC and BDRRMC also carry out some measures to lessen or prevent the impact of the disaster, including continuous cleaning and repair of public drainage canals, cutting tree branches, distributing leaflets for increased information dissemination, and purchasing equipment that may be required during disasters. The councils also invest in stockpiling food and having equipment on hand in case some families need to be evacuated, having a systematic process in place to accept families who have been evacuated, having an evacuation area with adequate capacity and equipment for the victims that will cater to their needs during their stay, and more importantly, having the funds to carry out all planned preparedness programs. During a disaster occurrence, in the case of a disaster, the BDRRM plan is also being systematically carried out. At the time of the announcement that the BDRRM Command Center should be activated, the Punong Barangay convenes a meeting with all its members that will stay alert throughout the occurrence of a calamity. The vulnerable sectors such as children, senior citizens, PWDs, and persons with comorbidity are the utmost priority. The Council prepares the evacuation area for evacuees with a systematic procedure for receiving disaster victims. They log and document each person, check whether they are taking them to the hospital, provide preliminary items they need such as mats, blankets, and food, provide medicine if necessary, and other tasks to ensure they were properly attended to while in the evacuation area. The barangay, NGOs, and other private individuals also give relief goods through donations. After a disaster, the extent of its impact on the community is assessed. The Punong Barangay and members of the BDRRMC and several subcommittees inspect affected areas. They identify those who require assistance based on the magnitude of the impact on them and their properties. The limited funding of the barangay often needs the help of higher government agencies for assistance such as food, financial aid, and materials for rehabilitation. Listed below are the highlights of the programs done by Barangay Santa Cruz. Presence of organized BDRRMC, presence of comprehensive BDRRM plan, evacuation plan, and contingency plan, presence of hazard map and evacuation map, conduct of public consultation with stakeholders, seminars and training including basic life support, basic firefighting, and search and rescue. Presence of pre-calamity materials and equipment, presence of community-based early warning system, conduct of quarterly meetings, conduct of quarterly earthquake drills, issuance of barangay resolution requesting fire hydrants, and coordination with private and public sectors for the master drainage plan, including low-lying areas in Santa Cruz. Disaster response is considered the toughest of all. The Punong Barangay ensures that the search and rescue team's knowledge of fires, floods, earthquakes, and other disaster events is sufficient, and that they are well trained for smooth search and rescue operations.